evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mahoning Drive-In Theater, the largest single-screen drive-in in the United States. We're certainly glad you could be with us this evening, and don't forget the concession stand is open with all kinds of great things to eat and drink.
Welcome to Mahoning Drive-In Radio. We are here this week with Becca, one of our newer staff members, and we're just going to chit-chat a little bit about how she came to the Mahoning and her life and her hopes and dreams and where she keeps her car keys. Becca, how are you doing?
I'm great, Mark. How are you?
So tell me about how you came into the Mahoning family, as it were.
So it started back in June, and I needed a job.
June 2020.
Yep, June 2020. So it's obviously during the COVID pandemic, and I was like thinking, and now I live locally around the Mahoning Drive-In. So I already knew and was accustomed to the place, and I was like, well, a drive-in's going to be doing great during COVID. It's a very nice socially distanced place. So I figured I should probably go help out my old drive-in, and I messaged them on Facebook, and here I am.
So you went to the Mahoning as an attendee earlier in your life, right?
Yeah, before everyone went retro, I used to go there with my family a lot. Like that was like the go-to. We need something to do tonight, so we're going to the drive-in. We'll see what's playing. But yeah, so I used to go there all the time when I was younger, and I vaguely remember like how it was set up. So then when I came back to the drive-in and then seeing it all, I was like an adult, and I was like, wow, I remember the little banister by the food line being so much bigger, but I remember like the popcorn machine and all of that. So it was fun. It was cute. It was exciting.
And it's interesting to me because I didn't come to the Mahoning, and the first time I went to the Mahoning was the last night of the last non-retro season. So that was like 2014 or 15. So I don't know what it was like before that. I mean, how, from your memories, your childhood memories, how different is, aside from what we show and the wonderful weirdness we brought to it, I mean, how well attended were the movies? What was the experience like back then versus now for someone?
Well, I do remember it getting packed. I remember that we just like now, when we have our busy days, you would have to get there early if you want to get a good spot. And I remember we would have I have a big family, so if we were doing like a big family night, we would all be there early trying to get good spots that were all by each other and all that. But yeah, I remember it getting packed, and I remember it being similar to what it's like now. Everyone just kind of gets in there, and then once you're there, you're walking around, you're just hanging out and just enjoying being around other people. So yeah, it's similar, but since I'm older, it's like, wow, people do this and people do that. Like, that's crazy. So, but yeah, it was nice when I was younger too.
How long ago do you think it was that you last visited before you worked there?
It was before we went retro. So I had to be 2012, 2011, probably. I remember seeing Cats versus Dogs, and that's the last memory I have there, but I don't know if that was the last time I was there. But yeah, so it was a while ago.
The Mahoning, a little bird named Becca told me, was your first job, right?
Yeah, that's my first job. So I was extremely surprised when I got let in.
So it's ruined you forever.
Oh my gosh, it has made a dent on me. If you can't tell in the background, I have so much Mahoning just merch. It's crazy how my first job ended up being more than just a first job. And I'm glad that it was. I'm so glad that it was.
So you're still in school currently?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
And in this world that we currently are living in, that means you don't leave the house, right? Your school is it remote, or it's totally still remote?
Well, for my school, you have the choice of if you want to go in. And I was in person for 3 days, but my first day I got rear-ended coming home. And after that, I was like, I'm just going online. It's so much easier with the drive-in, and just, it's not worth it right now. So yeah, I'm online.
That was something that was funny, for anybody who hasn't been to the theater or doesn't recognize us, I always say, part of the idea behind this podcast and what we're doing right now is for people to get to know the person behind the face they see at the drive-in. But over the last year with COVID and the pandemic, it's really getting to know the set of eyes above the mask that you see at the drive-in. And you and I usually are sitting at the, for the most of the season, we were sitting at the snack bar entryway where people would place their orders and pay. And we would chit chat between customers on a slower nights. And you mentioned to me that you hadn't yet had your driver's license, or you didn't have your official driver's license yet. And you had the type of driver's license that you couldn't be driving after dark. And you told me that early this season, and I'm like, well, that might be a problem, because I don't think there'd be many nights you're getting home, before dark. But that worked out okay, and you're street legal now, right?
Yeah, I turned 18, and that law, the Cinderella law, went away. But it is funny though, because I will look at my license. It'll say under 18 until October 30th, under 21 until October 30th, whatever year. And it's like, wow, I literally have like a child's driver's license. But yeah.
So would you consider yourself a movie fan per se, or somebody who is a casual fan? Because at the theater, we cater most of the time to really serious movie fans, and we get a lot of very devoted people coming out. And where on the spectrum would you say you fall?
Well, I would say I'm more casual. I'm definitely not as like into it as I've seen at the drive-in, but I developed a bigger love for movies and became more involved with movies thanks to the drive-in. So I know so much more, and I know more actors and just stuff like that. But yeah, I'm more of a casual person. Like, I won't go out of my way to go to like a big movie festival across the country.
We've had discussions, as I tend to ask everybody. So what is your favorite film?
You should know this one. The Back to the Future series, 100%.
And you've been able to see these on a big screen. I know you were born too late to see them when they came out, obviously, but you've seen them at a theater somewhere over the course of your life?
I honestly can't remember if I have. I mean, I know for sure if we play it at the drive-in, then yeah, but I don't think I've seen it on a big screen.
I can, with great confidence, say you will have that opportunity at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater sooner or later. If I hear that it's confirmed, I'll let you know privately, just so you can start,
Okay, thank you.
waxing the hoverboard or whatever. So do you have any fond memories from the first season that you can legally talk about, from the first season of working at the Mahoning? What were any highlights or things that stick out from that first year of working the stand?
My first story that comes to my head, like as soon as you said that, was when it was a Sunday and we were showing Fire in the Sky. But I didn't really know. I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't supposed to work that night, but Max wanted me to cover his shift. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? I'll cover your shift. And I show up there, and all of a sudden I find out that Travis Walton is going to be there. And I thought it was just going to be another Sunday, but then all of a sudden there he was. And I thought that was really cool. And I was just able to ask this guy questions, and I had no idea what was going on until I was there. Oh, or when I met Ari Lehman, that was great. That was so fun, because that was another one where I had no idea what was going on. I knew we were preparing for Camp Blood Weekend. I think that was a Thursday that I first saw Ari. And it was just like crazy, what's going on? So I really enjoyed those like pleasant little surprises that would just come out of nowhere, and I would just be like, wow, these people are just here and I can talk to them.
That is a cool aspect of what we do. Is, I mean, if you're a fan of what we're doing that weekend, you're on the inside and you can hang out with these people who come, or see the movies or see the setup before everybody else does. And then other times it's sort of a learning experience. Like, you might not know who these people are, but by the end of that weekend, you tend to have an appreciation for them, or you see how much of an appreciation our audience has for them. And it's just kind of cool. And ultimately, maybe Bruce Campbell aside, because nobody could get close to him that weekend. It was just such a crazy, it was like, it's the head of state was visiting. Other than that, we're generally they're just folks, they're folks who are happy to be out and talk, and they've all been really cool.
Oh yeah. I would put Bruce Campbell aside for that. That was a very crazy, crazy weekend.
Yeah, we'd never experienced anything like that before. And considering it was this gigantic event and none of us have done anything like that, I think it worked pretty well. The tsunami coming through, that I was out on the lot at that point, and it was just like, oh, it's going to rain a little. I'll just get wet. And then it was like, oh my God, I need to get inside.
Yeah, I remember when I did get my my picture with Bruce Campbell, that was after the downpour. So me, Max, and Crystal walk up to him, and the first thing he says to us, and I think the only thing he said to us was, "Wow, you guys look dry." And then that was it. We took the picture, and that was the end of it.
It was, yeah, and I'd heard about those kind of, they called them love and shove, or the very, very fast photo ops like that. And it really, as soon as you realize you're standing in the right position, they're said, okay, click.
It was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, bye. So what do you do when you're not at the Mahoning? Like, you might say, what is your day job, or what do you like to do for fun? Who is the woman behind the mask?
Well, for the most part, I've just been doing school. So once our season ended, it was like great. Because, well, I don't like the season ending, but I was like, okay, I have more time for school, and then more time to like see my friends and all that. Because once I was working, weekends was gone for me, and they were all weekday workers. So it was like this bashing of like schedules. Like I'm on weekends. I'm not gonna be able to hang out during the weekend. So it was nice to finally like be around everyone again.
So there are tales from various people who have worked at the Mahoning over the years that the snack bar may be haunted. Have you had any experiences in the potentially haunted snack bar that you're willing to divulge at this moment?
I You know what? Yeah, I will tell you this story. So it was one of the nights that me, Zoe, and Max and Crystal were staying at the drive-in. We were in the projection booth, and we came out and went to the little coolers for a drink. And I noticed that one of the coolers was open, and that I don't think any of us were really out there beforehand. Like I don't think any of us were really back there. So that freaked me out. I was laughing so hard with Crystal, and I was trying to hop over the counter, and I literally could not hop over the counter, and I felt legitimate fear in my body, and I was like, I'm stuck back here with the Mahoning drive-in ghost. He opened the cooler, and now he's not letting me leave. So that was probably my own like little spooky experience, but I've never had anything really, really terrifying. We always make jokes though about how the founder or or the Mahoning drive-in ghost, or they're there, but nothing truly terrifying has happened to me yet.
It's funny. The snack bar is like it's a place of business. It's a place for the arts, but it's also kind of our clubhouse for everybody. Various people will stay over in the snack bar. I still do sometimes if I'm down there alone, and it's like it's the hangout.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I never thought I would be able to just hang out at the concession stand. So like the nights that I would sleep over and we would go and get snacks and walk, it was just so cool to me, because before that I was used to that place as being a place of work, and now I was obviously like very comfortable at the drive-in, and it didn't feel like work all the time for me. But I just remember like staying the night. It was like so cool to walk outside and be like, oh, I'm in the concession stand. I remember the nights that I would stand at the door and it would be really cold, or would I be running around in circles for hours, and now I'm sleeping here. So I always thought that was super cool to me.
The drive-in has a really cool, creepy, very still atmosphere if you're ever there at night on a night we're not open, where there's maybe that one snack bar light on the lot, or there's no lights on out there. When I was coming previous seasons, I would come down on a Thursday night, sleep over, and be there all weekend. And I would be there not totally alone. Usually two of the other guys were there, but sometimes I would get there before they came back from doing a grocery store run. And it was dead silent, and just, you couldn't see what was in the darkness just beyond where the light fell. And it's a big lot. So I can see where people would get creeped out.
Oh yeah.
Being there, without a lot of other people.
When it was like nighttime and we turned off all the lights out in the front room and we just were in the projection booth, door was closed, we were just staying in there, and then you would have to use the bathroom. Like I would be like, Crystal, you have to come with me. Someone has to come with me because it is scary out there.
But just for anybody who's listening, as far as we know, there have been no ghost-related deaths on the lot, at least since the current management has taken over.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Well, 2021's a new year. So 2021, the new season is going to be starting in April, as it always does. And you're coming back again to join the team probably doing similar to what you did last season, but you never know. You never know when you're going to get bumped up at the drive-in. I was a cashier last season. Now I'm general manager. Who knows what things will happen by the time late October rolls around. Any words of wisdom or thoughts for anybody listening who will be seeing you on the lot this year?
Well, if you see me and recognize me, don't be afraid to say hi. I'm very approachable, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited for the new season. I'm really excited to be coming back. I never in a million years thought I would fall in love with the drive-in the way that I